Hi, hello. In today's video, I will be drawing I will finish. This is part 2 of me drawing in Studio Ghibli art style. This is me finally making the finished drawing that I was gonna do that I didn't have time for in last video. I bumped through. Also, if you like the art in this video, you should like and subscribe. If you're new here, like and subscribe. All that fun stuff. Links in the descriptions. My commissions are open. All that fun stuff. Okay, on to the video. This drawing bumped back from a bunch of different ideas. Originally I was going to draw my Sona in the art style, but I ended up hating it. I think my Sona is a little too cyberpunk for how the theme for what Ghibli is. And I also made the scope super large. Like there was a whole background and there was a whole like raccoon mount and then there was a whole body. It was a lot. It was like really huge scope. It was almost overwhelming. So I ended up scrapping that idea for the fact that I didn't even want to think about doing the line art for it because it was so much. And so I took back the scale a little bit. But you'll get to see, because half of this video is me working on that first one, because it did take me such a long time to complete because of the scope. What the idea was for this drawing was my Sona in a post-apocalyptic, overgrown sort of thing, and more like whimsically post-apocalyptic. I don't know how to explain that other than to say like that. And that this is her little raccoon mount, and I really like the way the mount turned out. I have a really hard time drawing animals, so I think this mount turned out super nice. I tried to base my profile off of the boy from The Boy and the Herring. I cannot remember his name right now, but so yeah. But I ended up not going with this because of the sheer I dropped my gummy bear. Because of the sheer massiveness of the drawing itself, I decided to not go with it because it would have taken me way longer than a week. And I already was running behind, and I did want to complete this study full circle because I did enjoy what I did last week, even though it was not a lot. But even though this video even though I didn't use this drawing, I did enjoy doing it. I think copying and all that fun stuff did do a lot for me. But like I said, I ended up scrapping it, and then I tried doing another drawing with my Sona again. I did 2 sketches for this, so this is just the cleanup. I don't have much to comment on the cleanup sketch because it's just, that was the idea. But I ended up scrapping it before I even finished the cleanup sketch. And then I tried again for something a little less, with a little bit of a smaller scope. But I still wasn't really caring for it. And then I decided, since I've been having a little bit of a Stardew Valley revival, that I was gonna draw the Stardew Valley character I've been playing as, Cat. She isn't exactly an OC. She's just adorable because she has pink hair and she has a whole cottagecore aesthetic, and I love it. I drew her with her chickens. She's turning into an OC because I'm kind of like headcanon little things about her. Is that she like loves birds. All birds, particularly like ducks and chickens. She really likes ducks. I made that decision a while ago, so I drew her like picking up her 3 little baby chickens in the spring and like just like holding them up to her face and smiling and being like, "Oh, you're so cute," because I felt like that was really the energy I wanted. Like I wanted light and happy. Obviously, this is not every Ghibli movie, but I feel like I just want to draw something light and happy. So in this, I used a bunch of different references, and I just stitched them together. I didn't use any specific reference. For the hair, I used the side profile of I can't remember the name of the movie off the top of my head, but it's the tiny girl with the hair clip that's like a bag clip. You probably know exactly what I'm talking about. But in the chickens, I used references from Spirited Away. The hair, I used Sophie's braid as a reference for how braids are drawn in the art style. And then everything else, I just was just looking and was like, okay, that's how they do that, and just generally just scrolling around and seeing how clothes are done. I tried to add a little bits of embroidery because I imagine, even though that it can't be shown because it's pixel art, or zoomed out pixel art, I like to imagine that Kat has embroidery on her overalls and shirt. And so I added that mildly because since I'm going off of the animation style of Studio Ghibli, I made sure to not add way too many details, because that's another thing I really saw with these characters. They have detail, but they don't have unnecessary detail, if that makes sense. Hal has his jacket and his necklace and his earrings, but they're not too much, and he still has a very plain shirt under it, and he wears black pants. Those are the most detailed parts about him. And most of the other characters are very simple, but that makes them great. It's simple and it gets to the point, but it's also very unique at the same time. But I think that's because of how Miyazaki uses shape language. Because if you take Chihiro's design, it's not very from Spirited Away. I'm just using her as an example. She has a very plain outfit, just a hair and a ponytail, but the way the clothes are, just even though it's just a green and white shirt, the way that it's baggy, that she's a scrawny little kid in baggy clothes, it adds to it. And then her facial features also, again, add to it, to her as like a character. I think that's actually really interesting, because I see a lot of people who add a bunch of stuff to their characters, but I really like that sort of simple yet very communicating of that aspect of character designs. So I tried to keep that in there with this design. So yeah. And then for the ducks, they look demented for a little bit, but they get fixed. I don't know why they looked so demented. I was about to cry while drawing them, because I was like, why does the Studio Ghibli ones look so cute and mine look like they've seen World War III? But the line art fixed it. But yeah, and then for the foreground and the background, along with the line art, I didn't color pick it. I call it color picking with my eyes. I just eyeballed it, because usually it's a very dark brown, and I can usually figure it out pretty easily, because I look at the screens and I'm like, okay, does that look like the right brown? Yeah, that looks like the right brown. Because sometimes color picking can like fuck you up a little bit, because of that whole. I think if you've been in the art community for any amount of time, you remember that trend about color theory where you like color pick and then you draw a line and you see how the color just fucking changes because of the surrounding colors make a color look different. So I just eyeball it. Nowadays, I just eyeball it because of that. Because it can end up more accurate than just color picking from just eyeballing, because of that whole color theory thing. And then for the background, I did paint the background, but I did the grass around the cat is line arted and cell shaded a little bit, and the background is more painted. When I was looking at the painted backgrounds, there wasn't a lot of blending, but there was a lot of fine little details, like little tiny grass strokes and stuff like that. But the grass strokes were indicating every piece of grass. The grass strokes were indicating like where the grass is darker, where the grass is highlighted, not like every strand of grass. And I mimicked that too with the foreground and the background. And for the foreground of grass, I just literally highlighted it, because when I was looking at screenshots of grass, like animated grass in Studio Ghibli, it's not ever really shaded. There's not a lot of shading in that art style either. It's mostly just like flats. It's mostly just flats, but it's also it's to me at least, the way everything is shaded, even though there's not like a whole lot of shading, it's placed very well. I think it's very charming when I was like studying it. And then with the color palettes, yeah, let me stop jumping around. I think that's very appealing. But what I did was I took the foreground grass and flowers, and then I copy pasted and I cut it up, and I put that behind the coloring I did of Cat, so that it looks like she was inside of a bunch of grass, to make my life easier. So I only had to color and shade and line art this one piece of grass instead of two whole chunks of grass. I only had to color in and line art one piece of grass. I also rendered the background, like I said, with that whole little details in mind. I made sure to add little dots where there would be little clusters of flowers, and yeah, I added the highlights and dark shades. Oh yeah, color palette. So for the color palettes, what I realized is that Ghibli and my color palettes tend not to coordinate, because I'm not coordinating on purpose, obviously, and they don't know who the hell I am. But I realized how similar the color choices I have are to a lot of those screenshots. It's a little bit more vibrant than I am, but I like my vibrant colors. I don't care for my desaturated colors. I care for more vibrant colors. When I was looking at even screenshots from Howl's Moving Castle, when Howl has his black hair, it's more of like a blue-green, not like a pure black. And that's how I'll usually do black hair, or I make it like a gray, a dark gray, or like a darky bluey color. I never use a pure black for hair. But when I was looking at that, and I was like, because I just winged a color palette, and I'm actually really happy because it does look like a Ghibli movie still, even though I winged the color palette, minus the grass and the sky, because I couldn't figure out. I wanted to make sure those were accurate, so I looked at a screenshot from Howl's Moving Castle of the big flower field, and I made sure I made the grass, the light and the darks in the grass similar. Same thing with the sky. I looked at the sky color and was like, oh, it's like a blue-green color. And you never think to make grass blue or sky a blue-green color, but it turned out really nice. And then for the mountains, I just rendered it. And it's okay rendering. I didn't put too much focus on it because I wanted the focus to be And then for the cloud, I tried rendering it. I gave up because I hate rendering clouds, and then I just found a PNG of a cloud. So yeah, I'm actually really happy about this video. I really like the way that this artwork even turned out. Like I said, studying this art style, I'll probably continue to do, especially for the creature designs, because I've been really wanting to get into creature designs. And how to design my own creatures to look better, because I think the way Ghibli does creatures is amazing, and I absolutely love it. I also love a few, like the boy and the herring. All the creatures in that movie are fucking fantastic. The herring, the pelicans, all of them. Those are the ones I can remember off the top of my head. I know there's way more than that, but the one that sticks out to me the most is the herring, because you think it's a normal herring, and then it's not. It's cool. It's really cool. And there are other places that I like grabbing my creature designs from, but I would say I really want to study more of the creature designs that Miyazaki has made, like Totoro and all of that, because he can draw people really well. But I think where Ghibli really truly sparkles is his monsters and like creatures and like little dudes. All right. Thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys in the next video. If you like this video, subscribe. If you guys want me to try to study another art style, suggest it in the comments. I'm down, because this was really fun. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.